Subscribe to I.S.U.P.K. Kentucky on YouTube. Priest of the Lord, teaching classes and street speaking. Teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth. I.S.U.P.K. Kentucky.
Hey, Shalom of Christ. Shalom of Christ. Hey, Shalom. Hey, Shalom of Christ. If brothers could, or any Akim walked out there, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the comment section about Kasha. If Akim can hear me, put a 1 in the comment section Type in a 1 if you can hear me. If you can't, let me know. On fire Christ. H and one more Christ. This is Officer Hamakabak. It's the I.S.U.P.K. Kentucky class coming out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, in the commanding GEN.YAHANNA. And I would like to invite you to tonight's topic. Remembering pain is protection. See, here's the thing. A lot of people think that pain can be a bad thing, and it is for the most part. You spend your whole life trying to avoid pain and increase pleasure. The Bible is a book about pain and pleasure. You sin because you wanted to bring about pleasure. And a lot of people need to understand that there's a correct way to utilize pain to gain wisdom. Not that you should hold on to the pain, but since you have it, why not use it to avoid further pain in the future? And the Bible speaks about this. We're going to go into the Bible and we're going to talk about remembering pain to protect you. So if I could, let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 5. Your oppressor is the devil, the Bible speaks of, because he tells you to forget your pain. Forget about slavery. Forget about the past. It's over. Get over it. So he can keep causing you pain. That's why he don't want you to remember your pain, to remember the pain of your ancestors, to remember the pain of Christ. See, Christ suffered pain so that we could be protected. Wisdom. There's wisdom in pain. You touch a hot stove. You know not to touch a hot stove again because it will cause you physical pain. You're a male, you date a whore. She take your money. She gets you locked up. You remember the emotional pain that the whore caused you. Now, preferably, we should learn from wisdom. And the Bible talks about this. Let's go into the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 5. And I'm going to read this from my Bible app. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Verse 6, forsake her not. Now, wisdom is equated to her, right? And she shall preserve thee. Love her, love wisdom, and she shall keep thee. Verse 7, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all thy getting, get understanding. You are protected by your wisdom. Unfortunately, wisdom can come in many different ways. Now, the best way to get wisdom is by mentorship, meaning that you trust a proven mentor and you believe them. Otherwise, you're going to get wisdom from experience. And oftentimes you get it by experiencing pain, right? So let's go to the book of Solomon. It's like the wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 10 and verse 8. Check this out. You probably never seen this before. This is the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10 and verse 8. For regarding not wisdom, they get not only this hurt. So the author here is saying, because they didn't regard wisdom, they got not only this hurt, It brought about hurt, which is pain, that they knew not the things which were good. Wisdom is supposed to teach you what's good. But if you don't trust wisdom, you don't trust her, you don't love her, then you're going to get your wisdom from pain, hurt. They also knew not the things which were good, but also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness. That's what's happening nowadays. A lot of people are out here foolish. You got a choice. You can choose to absorb that pain and live in it, because there's an old saying, hurting people hurt people. That's right. Unfortunately, a lot of sisters know this. They've been in a bad relationship. A baby daddy. They was with an abusive thug that beat on them. They was molested by a family member. So now it causes them pain. And rather from learning from the pain, they choose to perpetuate the pain, cause others hurt, instead of cause others healing. Learning from that pain and saying, you know what? Rather than cause others pain, I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to help other people avoid the pain that I experienced by the beating, by the spousal abuse, by the molestation. We need to learn. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this is something that we all can really relate to, because our whole plight in life has been experiencing pain, mentally, physically, emotionally. When the scriptures, and I'm paraphrasing, said God made all things for his pleasure. So what do? To try to avoid the pain, a lot of us overdo it, become alcoholics, indulge in material things, obtain material wealth, and try to drown your pain with feeding your pleasure in a way that just masks and doesn't heal you of the pain. Every rapper knows that. They rap about their pain. I went through the ghetto. I was in the streets. Nobody cared about me. I carried the heat. You know, they talk about their painful experiences, and they talk about how the money and the riches is preventing them from experiencing those things. But rather than trying to cover up the pain with material gain and wealth, what you should do is get those hidden nuggets of wisdom from the pain. What are you going to do? You was a child. You was trying to reach up on that stove and get some food. Ah! You're supposed to have learned from that event to not reach up on the stove anymore to experience the physical pain. Many of y'all, some of y'all, when you was children, you went out there and you wore something crazy to school and you got embarrassed. It caused you emotional pain, and you knew, I'm not gonna wear them buddy tennis shoes to school no more, them whatever they call me, them busting up tennis shoes, the ones that be barking, you know, the ones that's open, they be talking. You probably try to get away and wear them in school when it's locked. But you was ridiculed, and it caused you pain, and you knew, man, I need to get my stuff right. I need to, you know, wear something better than this. See, you gain wisdom from pain. Tonight's topic, remembering pain is protection. Remembering pain is protection from more pain. You see what I'm saying? We're going to go into the scriptures and elaborate on this a little more. Also, would like to remind you, make sure you pay your tithes, man. Pay your tithes to the I.S.U.P.K. Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Commander GEN.YAHANNA is healing a nation with pain. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Yeah, it takes material resources to get this word out, to facilitate the many needs of our people that's in pain. You know what I mean? It's a one thing if you rap and you trying to drown your pain in excess. But we're doing what's needed. We're doing paying rent, you know what I'm saying? Paying people's rent, their utilities, getting them help, feeding the poor, doing the good works Christ said to do, man. That's what we're doing. Why don't you get involved? Go to that website, ISUPK.com, and there's a link there where you can submit your tithes and donations. And if you're here in the Louisville, Kentucky area, make sure you get in contact with the priests and prophets here in Kentucky. Go to that Facebook page, One West UPK Louisville Facebook, and leave us a message and say, you know what, I want to get involved, man. I've seen a lot of people in pain. I'm doing all right. And I remember when I was down, the Most High looked out for me. He blessed me. Now I want to get involved and help others. And I gave my money to that Christian church, and they didn't do nothing but buy a new Cadillac with it. We don't do that in I.S.U.P.K. We make sure that your resources, we're a good steward of your resources, and we make sure that we enhance the lives of our people by knowledge, tangibly. So make sure you support the priests and prophets here in Kentucky. But tonight's topic, man, remembering pain is protection. Protection. The Most High never intended for you to experience pain. The coronavirus is here. Now think about the pain that the coronavirus has caused, the pandemic. Many people have died. Many people have gotten sick. Symptoms. It causes pain, physical pain, emotional pain. You understand? You obtain wisdom from pain. Unfortunately, you can obtain wisdom from mentorship if you listen, but oftentimes people are hard-headed, like we say, and they don't want to listen, so they want to experience the hardship and obtain wisdom from pain. So let's drop that and let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, in verse 24. How come your so-called oppressor Esau, so-called white man, he don't forget about his pain? You ask a so-called Jewish person that know about the Holocaust if they should just forget about that. You know what? They're going to be appalled. They're going to be appalled. Or your so-called average, good old red-blooded American, maybe we shouldn't celebrate 9/11, the attacks of the World Trade Center no more. They're not going to forget. It caused them pain, but here's the thing. They know that that pain, not that they hold on to the pain, but they remember it. It's going to be their protection so it does not happen again. You got to be a fool, especially some of you women out there. You get beat upside the head, you get emotionally abused, and you continue to take it. You should have learned from your last relationship to keep you from experiencing further pain. But like I said, hurting people hurt people. And unfortunately, when they're in that state, it's like crabs in a barrel. It's pull other people down in that pain, right? But here's what the Bible got to say. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 24. Now, here's an example of obtaining wisdom from pain, physical pain. It's crazy, isn't it? He that spareth his rod hateth his son. Now, what is the rod? That's like anything you use, like physically, for correction. They call it corporal punishment in schools. They used to give children paddles and spank them on their behind as a reinforcement to deter bad behavior. And that's the whole purpose of pain, because the Most High created pain to deter you from bad behavior. That's why he gave us the laws, statutes, and commandments in his Bible to prevent pain, right? Pain unto death. What that means, physical pain. The Most High tells you not to eat certain foods in the book of Leviticus. tells you not to eat the swine according to Leviticus 11:7. Say that swine is unclean, so you eat it, and it starts causing you physical pain in your body, which in turn starts causing you emotional pain because you can't do what you used to do, mental anguish. You see what I'm saying? When you could just avoid that major hurt and pain by a little spank on the butt. I better not ever catch you eating no ham sandwich no more. Now, some of y'all, I'm not telling you to, beat your child, but the scripture in the Bible, according to my so-called religious right, is telling you in the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 24, he that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chaseth him betimes, many times, right? And here's the thing. We didn't have to go through that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How many times have the Most High had to chasing us with pain? The pain of being in slavery. You understand? Literally, too, with that bullwhip. Now, some people, I'm not saying hold on to pain. You're supposed to be healed of your pain. That's why Christ went on the cross, the crucifixion. You see what I'm saying? You're not supposed to hold on to pain, but you know how to deal with it and take something from the pain. That's just like a businessman. When you have a good idea, there's some jewels in that to perpetuate that idea to create more business. He doesn't just throw away the idea. He uses it. It becomes wisdom. Same thing with pain. Pain can be for your protection if you remember. Not saying you're supposed to just look for ways to have pain come upon you, but if you do, find out why you got the pain, whether it be physical pain. Did you take care of your physical health properly? Emotional pain. Who are the people you're around? Who's causing this? Mental pain. You know what I mean? Many different aspects. You want to examine those instances and see what the Most High God says to do to remedy the pain. That's why it's important to listen to the priests and prophets in I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA. A lot of us have experienced immense pain, been through many trials and tribulations, and that has caused us to become wise. So I'm going to drop that, and we're going to stay in the book of Proverbs to reinforce what we just brought out. The book of Proverbs, chapter 23, and verse 13, right? Withhold not correction from the child. Now, with this new generation, they don't believe in spanking a child. I'm not telling you to, but the Bible say to correct your child with the rod. I'm paraphrasing. I don't believe in spanking my child. Well, the slave master did. The slave master, whipped our people with a bullwhip, and it corrected us. It deterred us. It made us do what he wanted us to do. Not saying it's right, but he understood that pain causes correction. And sometimes correction means protection. You see what I'm saying? Now, he did it in a malicious manner. I'm not saying go out here and beat your child with a bullwhip. It's a difference between corporal punishment in a proper way and abuse, child abuse. So don't ever do that. You never heard that coming from the I.S.U.P.K. But the Bible says right here, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, and that's, you're gonna tap on the behind, he shall not die. Now a lot of them be like, back in the day, I got beat with some things, extension cord, belt, toys, a switch, all kind of stuff, man. Now, it didn't kill me, but you know what? I did something to warrant that correction. And you know what? I learned from the pain to protect me from further pain. You understand? And even worse pain, right? Not to steal, not to go in the store and steal a toy. You might have tried to steal a toy when you was a child, and you got a little butt whipping, and well, something in your mind told you, if I steal that toy, it's going to cause me pain like the last time. So I'm going to remember the pain to protect me from getting further pain and even worse consequences. See what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you're supposed to want to be in pain, but remember, use it since you already experienced it to prevent pain in the future. And even the wisest of us remembers the pain that happened to somebody else. You learn from that. And you say, you know what? I seen what you just did to that brother. I'm not going to get with that whore. You see what I mean? Or you're a woman. I seen what the oppressor did. It was a story. I think it was last year. It was a white man named Jason Pope. He had sex with over 600 black women and infected them with HIV. Now, you don't think that HIV causes physical and emotional pain? Sisters should look at something like that and say, you know what? I'm not going to sleep with some damn devil. I'm not going to have sex with some devil. Now, some of y'all's argument might be like, well, black men do it too. Really? Black men sleeping with black men hardly can't even get, he can't even hardly juggle 2 or 3 women because he get too many phone calls from the first one. Where you at? Where you been? You see what I'm saying? Nah, man. You need to remember the pain of them black women and learn from it so you don't get caused pain. You understand? The pain from the black women in slavery, the rapes of the oppressor. Remember that. Just because somebody talk nice to you at your job, don't mean they love you. They just talking nice to you. Scripture say, prove all things. You feel me? And many people are experiencing pain. They're experiencing pain right now from death. Their relatives died of the coronavirus. They're getting sick. And we got to bring the healing. And we got to let you know that there is wisdom that can protect you from that pain. You got to follow the laws, statutes, commandments of God in the Bible. You need to follow this Bible and what it say to do. It's meant to protect us from pain, hardships, curses. That's what curses cause. Curses, blessings cause pleasure, curses cause pain, right? So when you're in a state of experiencing pain, remember it. Learn from it. So when you get out of the situation, you don't go back into the painful state. Alcoholics, man, a lot of alcoholics don't get that. They cause pain and hurt to themselves and the people around them. You ever been around an alcoholic and it just seemed like they self-destructive? I ain't talking about somebody that drank a little bit. I'm talking about, they gotta have a drink. And they turn into a mean-spirited, just a totally different person when they get that drink up in them. And they hurt everybody around them with their words, maybe try to beat them physically with their incompetence and their just disregard for themselves. And you care about the person and you trying to help the person and it end up causing you pain. And if you ever learn from a situation like that, you learn, man, I do not want to deal with no alcoholic. I try to help them, but they got to be responsible and accountable for their actions. And then a lot of them go out there, get in the car drunk, drive, and die. Because they did not remember the pain. They did not remember the pain. It did not protect them. You know what I mean? Share the class, because some people are going to need to hear this. It might not be some deep class about, reincarnation or a class about, some deep level. It's just basic. Because it's something that most Black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians experience every day. Pain, mental anguish. I can't pay this bill. Well, why can't you pay the bill? Did you mess off your money? Did you go to the strip club? Did you live in excess? Did you not budget your money right? Now it's causing you mental pain and anguish. You understand? So we need to learn from these things, right? We need to learn from them so we don't experience it. Relationships especially, right? A lot of us get in relationships and we end up getting with the same type of person that caused us pain in the last relationship. You see what I'm saying? You got with somebody that beat you physically, and now you want to get back into that same relationship because the world gives you this demographic of what a sexy man's supposed to be. He gotta be 6 feet, have 6 figures, and have a 6-pack. 666. He the devil. You know what I'm saying? He got all this stuff going on for him. And you think he just gonna settle for you? And then you can't stand that, so what happened? You get all up in his face. Who was that on the phone? I heard you go in the bathroom. Who was it? There's the bit. And then y'all getting in it, and you keep dealing with that type of stuff. But you look past a lot of good men every day, because you got a prototype in your mind on what a good man's supposed to be. So therefore, you keep getting the same characteristics in a man, and it causes you pain. You should learn from the pain. You see what I'm saying? The Bible talks about this. And okay, let's say you don't even learn from your pain. Let's learn from Christ's pain. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 5. Your oppressor is the devil, the Bible speaks of. Because he's the one that told you to accept and disregard your pain and not learn from it, right? Forget about slavery. It's over, man. That's what they tell you. Why you just need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and forget about it. Get a job. That's what the white man tell you to do, man. Meanwhile, he want to remember his tragedies. He want to remember the Vietnam War. He want to remember the Holocaust. He want to remember 9/11, World War I, World War II. He want to remember all the tragedies that have befell him and his people, but tell you as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian person to forget your pain. Move past it. Don't even think about it. No, you need to think about it. You need to think and remember about how you felt when your son got shot in the street by that goddamn white cop, man. Remember that, because that's protection. You understand? That is protection. Somebody that tells you to forget about your pain, that's Christianity 101, man. Just move past it. It's over, right? That's what the white man tell you to do. No, I'm not saying to hold on to the pain. I'm saying to draw wisdom from it. That's what happens when a parent chastens his child or their child with the rod. It causes them physical pain to bring about righteous living. Pain that you've experienced should bring about righteous living. You know what? I'm not going to go back down to that goddamn strip club. They got me for every nickel I had. Look at them hoes. Cause you pay, now you can't pay the rent. You pay them strippers, now you can't pay them rent. Or you a female. You been hanging out with them white folk on your job. All right? They been calling you monkey behind your back. Queen monkey. And you heard her. You was about to go into the door one day and you heard her. Queen monkey. And you stopped right before you went in there and you cried. Because you wanted the love of your presence so goddamn bad. Let me tell you something, man. You should stop trying to obtain the love from people that hate you, your mortal enemy, man. I know the Christian church told you God love everybody and you're supposed to love everybody, but there's people on the earth that's enemies with God And God loves you, therefore they are enemies with you. And who is that? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. God loves, and the enemy of God hates you because he hates God. And that's the so-called white man, man. I don't care if he wear a cross around his neck and got a big shiny church full of emblems and statues. You broke. Why didn't he take some of that money that it took to build that church and help build you up, build your self-esteem up? No, man. That's why Christ knew that we had enemies, man. He tried to tell us when he walked the earth. He left us these records of his painful death so that we could avoid the pain. Only thing you got to do is trust and believe in the word. That's called having faith, man. That's what real faith is. Trusting and believing in a trusted mentor. And Christ was our trusted mentor and our king. He still is. Check this out. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions. When you get wounded, it causes you pain. But check this out. This is a prophecy about Christ in the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 5. It says, he was wounded for our transgressions. That's that cross, man. They beat him with a cat of nine tails and whipped his back, because in ancient Roman culture, they would give you 39 lashes, you know what I mean, to deter whatever they felt you did wrong, to deter bad behavior. They lied on Christ. And what did they do? They punished him. But here's the thing. He took that because he knew that was from the Most High. Spotless lamb. Sacrifice. Because you got to understand, sin requires punishment. And oftentimes punishment, there's pain. Right? Now the level of pain and the level of punishment, the Most High decides that. So when you're at a level of pain, you should decide, you know what, I don't want to go through worse pain. So I'm going to remember from the pain that I went through so that I can be protected. Every boxer knows this. You know boxing, right? Boxing. A boxer, his whole mean in the ring is to cause, affliction and to prevent pain. Bobbing and weaving. You see what I'm saying? Protecting himself from experiencing physical pain. That's why you need to get the scriptures. That's your bobbing and weaving in life. Bobbing and weaving from sin. Okay, I'm going to sleep with a whore. Nope. I'm going to steal this. Nope. You see what I'm saying? You need to do that, Israel. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You need to learn the laws, statutes, commandments from the I.S.U.P.K. and Commander GEN.YAHANNA, the true body of Christ, so that it can protect you so you don't have to experience pain. See what I'm saying? Let me read this from the top again. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. This is talking about Christ. And with his stripes, we are healed. Man, that's very heavy. That can go into many aspects of healing. Physically, emotionally, mentally, many things. But you need to understand this. Tonight's topic, remembering pain is protection. If you don't even want to remember your own pain, at least remember your king's pain. A black man named Jesus Christ. Remember his pain. Because he was wounded for our transgressions. You see what I'm saying? Wounded for our transgressions. Right? So with that said, tonight's topic, remembering pain is protection. I'm not saying live in pain or even desire to, get pain, but if you have it, get the wisdom from it so that it can prevent you from further pain and anguish. Christ went through pain to protect you. And with that said, that's tonight's class. Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out at 1 West 125th Street. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in the Hebrew. Mayashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. You go to that website, ISUPK.com. If you're here in Kentucky, support the priests here, man. Support our work so that we can wake up other brothers and sisters from experiencing pain. Go to that Facebook page, 1 West UPK Louisville, leave a message and say, you know what, I want to help financially. You understand? Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we're going to have the 52nd annual Passover to get more clarification on the dates and the times of that and location. I want to give a courtesy salute to all the brothers watching the stream. I.S.U.P.K. Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Barak Atam. That's what time. Give a courtesy salute to all the sisters watching the stream. I.S.U.P.K. Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Shema I Atam Ba'Hashem Yahushua. That's what time. I.S.U.P.K. Kentucky class dismissed.